if you're just going to go for the music and the visuals and just look at it like it's a 2-hour-long music video for the latest Nine Inch Nails album, this is like your Taylor Swift experience, right? You go to watch the music. We are being sucked into the machine and being spit back out again. And hopefully we've all been reassembled correctly. I feel pretty good after being inside the Tron. Whatever part of Vancouver the Tron exists in. We are here with an early review for you of Tron Aries. We just saw it last night in 3D IMAX. Very exciting. You do feel like you are in the Tron. Alonso will tell us about it, but come subscribe because even in the midst of heavy award season stuff, we will find time for this kind of mindless spectacle. Alonso, what's it about?
You think you're in control of this? You're not.
This is the third of the Disney Tron movies, and this time, you know, it's really about the rivalry, as ever, I guess, between Encom and Dillinger Technologies. Encom is now currently being run by, well, we're told originally the Kim sisters, but one of them passes away, so really the CEO at this point is Eve Kim, played by Greta Lee, because, of course, Kevin Flynn is missing, and Sam Flynn also seems to be missing. I suspect because Garrett Hedlund was like, I'm out, but, you know, I'll leave that for him to discuss. So Eve Kim's plans for the company, in addition to making new sequels to Space Paranoids, is to embrace AI, to embrace new technology in the hopes of, you know, fixing the world, curing disease, feeding the hungry, all that good stuff. Meanwhile, over at Dillinger, Nepo baby Julian Dillinger, who is the grandson of the David Warner character and the son of Gillian Anderson, played by Evan Peters, is out to get fat military contracts by taking the programs and their weapons out of the grid and making them manifest in real life. Little problem with that. Anything that you take out of the grid and bring it to our world lasts for 29 minutes, and then it dissolves into a pile of digital dust. So both Eve and Julian are after something that Kevin Flynn left behind years ago called the permanence code, which would make things from inside the grid live outside the grid. And once Eve finds that Julian will do anything to get it, including bringing super soldier programs Aries, played by Jared Leto, and Athena, played by Jodie Turner-Smith, into the world, even if it's just for 20 minutes at a time, to try and grab it from her. But Aries is developing a soul and is maybe becoming a human, to be like the human. And so that, of course, complicates things. This movie is basically a series of chases connected by technobabble and some, you know, half-assed ideas about, you know, responsibility and ethics in tech. But the chases are really good. This is directed by Joachim Rønning, who most recently did A Young Woman in the Sea, but he did the second Maleficent. He did a Pirates of the Caribbean. He's like Disney's sort of in-house guy. He did Kon-Tiki years ago, which I think got an International Film Oscar nomination. It's, you know, it is shot by
Jeff Cronenweth.
Jeff Cronenweth. I always want to say Jordan Cronenweth, a different guy. Jeff Cronenweth. You know, the score is by Nine Inch Nails. It is propulsive. Again, we saw it in 3D IMAX, and that's the play here. Like, this movie is basically a theme park ride. You know, Disney has turned their rides into movies and their movies into rides, and now this is just both all together in one handy package. So you might as well go in for the full effect. And they are as shameless about 3D as like the old paddleball bit in the original House of Wax. Like, from the get-go, you have an opening montage of exposition that is suddenly like, woo, 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 where you're just going all over the internet and cyberspace to get the information you need to figure out what the plot is going to be. Is seeing like light cycles in traffic kind of cool? It is. You know, are the new craft that they make up for the grid, you know, that on land, sea, and air, cool to look at? Yes. Is there a cool shout out to the OG 1982 Tron? Yes. This is a legacy sequel after all. Is anyone besides Greta Lee and Jodie Turner-Smith really giving a performance? But, you know, I was thoroughly entertained by this very splashy, slick, loud bit of nonsense.
Evan Peters is giving all the performance. There's a lot of performance going on there. And yeah, I like this more than I thought I was going to. I think expectations have a lot to do with it. I didn't really have high hopes for a Tron legacy sequel starring Jared Leto that I had to go see in 3D. But yeah, it looks spectacular. I love the music. Nine Inch Nails is a perfect pairing for this kind of sleek, slick, futuristic world, which kind of feels retro futuristic to me in some ways. Like it is really high tech, but there's also something kind of like kind of old school about it, like kind of funky 70s about it. But I like that. That's not a complaint. I like that about it.
There is a tangibility, you know, and this is the thing that's been recurring in the movies, the idea that like a program is a walking, talking person, you know, and that if they want to steal your files, they have to like climb the gate to get to the files and pick them up. And, you know, like they make all of that so literal that there is something kind of charmingly old school and clunky about it.
Yeah, they play with the logistics of it, with the physicality of it in a way that's really fun. Yeah, and some of the craft, especially the big bad craft that comes at the end that is created with the 3D printers, is like the way they pace that out, they tease that out, is really cool and very impressive when you see it in all of its wonder. Yeah, and when, you know, all of Vancouver gets destroyed, you know, for the tax breaks, why not? It's really fun though. Like the script is terrible. It's really stupid. It is alternately like hitting you on the head with the obvious message here about, you know, the scary use of these 3D printers to make super soldiers and whatever. Like it's not subtle, but then the rest of it is just like gobbledygook. And then in the middle of it all, Greta Lee is trying to act, and it's a much more physical role for her. And that's really fun. But then she also brings like the subtlety that she's known for. And she also gets to have a little bit of fun and be funny in this. So I liked her performance a lot here. Yeah, I enjoyed this more than I thought it was going to. Like I'm not a Tron person. I don't recall the first two all that well, but like the shout out to the original is just enough. You know how we complain so frequently with, you know, whatever Ghostbusters they're up to at this point, that they're trotting out like holograms of people who've long been dead and like
telling the exact same jokes over and over again. Yeah.
Here's the thing, you know, as if recognition alone were sufficient for entertainment. And they do that like just enough. Like they touch into the nostalgia just enough to remind you, oh yeah, that was a cool idea, but we have someplace else we want to go with it as well. I also didn't hate Jared Leto in this. I'm not a Jared Leto fan, but the fact that he has to sort of be just like a machine, you know, and, you know, he can't be obnoxiously overacting when he has to dial it down in that capacity.
True. You know, stone-faced Jared Leto, give me that over maniacal, like scenery chewing Jared Leto, but you know, I would rather not, generally speaking, but you know, but as somebody pointed out, a tech bro like the Evan Peters character would totally think that a computer program that looked like Jared Leto would be boss.
Yeah.
It's Morbin time.
Some of the things they do with like the tech bro culture feels pretty accurate as far as these people who are essentially dweebs thinking that they are gods. And the misplaced arrogance of that. I mean, that feels, as a theme, that feels pretty accurate to our times.
For sure, yes. You know? Hubris, everybody.
I will say, like a 7. Like I had fun. The script is stupid, but if you're just going to go for the music and the visuals and just look at it like it's a 2-hour-long music video for the latest Nine Inch Nails album, this is like your Taylor Swift experience, right? You go to watch the music.
Yeah, I'm pretty much there with you. I said 6.8. It is, if you are going for sure, like if this had been released a couple months ago, I'd be like, go for the air conditioning. But you know, even if you don't need that so much now, just see it as big and as loud and as multidimensional as you can, and treat it like a dark ride and not like a piece of, you know, cinematic drama, because it's not.